Hello class and welcome back to Linear Perspective. Now we are on day 2 and for today we are going to talk about two-point perspective. Two-point perspective is where you are looking at the corner of an object. Here's a box. If you're looking straight at it, you draw it in 1 point. If you are looking at it on the corner, then you do two-point perspective. Okay, let's get started. Just like before, we draw our horizon line. But now, there's a big difference. Instead of 1 point, we are drawing 2. All right, 1 on each side. So let's draw a box below the horizon in two-point perspective. Now this time, instead of drawing the rectangle to start, we are drawing the corner edge to start. That's our beginning. Now we're going to draw our dashed lines to the corners. Okay, now we're going to pick how wide on each side we want the box. So let's say we want it to be shorter on this side. We draw a parallel line, and longer on this side. So again, 3 straight lines going vertical. Now we connect the corners over here. Now this would be done if you were doing a solid box, but we're gonna do an invisible box, but we're gonna do a see-through box today. So we're gonna do all the corners. Okay, so now where this 2 meet and this, you give it a vertical line. Okay, so let's turn the dashed lines solid. There we have it. There is a clear box. So now it's your turn. Try doing clear box below the horizon line. Okay, now we're going to do a solid box below the horizon line over here. I'm going to make it a shorter box. Okay, so now we're going to figure out how wide we want this box. So I'm going to do like here and here. Okay, so now we're going to connect the lines. So it's a little confusing since it's on the other box's line. So let's move it. So we're not confused. Let's do it here. Okay. And to the other point where they meet up. All right, because this one's going to be a solid box only, we are not going to worry about the other ones. So see the difference? The see-through and this one's solid. Okay, now your turn. You draw a solid box below the horizon line. Okay, now we're going to draw a box above the horizon line. Again, we'll do a clear one. Do it on this side. All right. I'm gonna do here and here. Okay. Now all the corners, because we're doing see-through. Okay, so we need to bring these two together. And there you have it. A see-through box. above you. So again, you can see the bottom side. Now, again, look down here. When they're below the horizon line, you can see the top sides only. You cannot see the bottom side. So this time, we're gonna do a solid box above the horizon line, and we're only gonna be able to see the bottom. Okay, now we draw the other sides. Okay, since we're only doing a solid box, we only need to connect to these corners, not those corners. Okay, now make the line solid. There is a solid box that we are looking at. So this could be, you know, a lamp or a bookshelf or something in the ceiling that you're looking up at, and you can only see the bottom side, you cannot see the top side. Now again, with a box that's solid, you can only ever see three sides at a time. You can never see 4 sides, 5 or 6 sides. Okay, so there's 6 sides to a cube, and you can only see all 6 if it's see-through. If it's solid, you are never going to see more than 3. Sometimes you might see only 1 if it's like this. Sometimes you might see 2 if it's like this. But sometimes you'll see 3 if it's like this. All right, find an object in your room, and you're going to draw it in 2-point perspective. Now, chances are you're going to want to draw it below the horizon line because it's an object that's you're going to put on the table in front of you. So it's below your eye level. The only time you'd be drawing above is if it's something floating above your head. You need 2 points for 2-point perspective. All right, so now we're going to draw a short line. Okay, now look at this. It's pretty long on both sides. So how about like here? Like here. All right, so since it's a solid box, just gonna fill in only these lines. So now I also want to draw these staples that are on here. Let's see. So let's do it from this angle. There's only 1 on this side. And there's 2 here. Like that. So this needs to also connect to that one. Okay. And then there's a little picture and the words. All right, I'm gonna try to draw it this time with it this way so you can see what it would look like if it were a see-through box. At least the top is see-through. Here and like here. Okay. Now, we bring it to the other corners as well, since we're doing a see-through box. So this corner. Okay, so now there's a corner here and a corner here, and you connect those in a line. Okay, so now let's solidify all the lines that we want. Now, you can't see that through because the side walls are not see-through, right? It's just the top that's see-through, so erase the parts you don't need, like that. All right, now let's draw those staples, and they are just straight up and down. Oh, there's one in there, one in there. we'll use this point to figure out the angle. Okay, so now you go ahead and find something in your room and draw it in 2-point perspective. So now we're going to pretend we're in a box, because actually we are in a box. Here's our horizon line. Now we're going to do 2 points. We're going to put them really far to the edge. Trust me on this. If you go in the middle, it'll drive you crazy. Keep them far to the edge of your sketchbook. All right, so we're inside a room and we're looking at the corner, which is the, like 2 walls come together, they make a line, right? Basically, this is the corner. And we're just gonna draw a vertical line. Okay, now we're gonna figure out what is the ceiling height and what is the floor height. So we'll do the ceiling height about here and we'll do the floor height about here. Trust me on this, keep them around this distance. Don't do them here or here. You'll have no room to draw your floor or your ceiling, okay? So keep them like, I don't know, a little less than halfway up and down the paper, okay? Now you're gonna connect all of your points and to make a kind of X shape. So from this point to this point, so every point's getting connected to every point. That's better. All right, then this one to this one over here. Okay, so now we can erase this part and this part. We don't need it anymore. This is the floor, this is the ceiling. We can also erase the 2 V's. Okay, so this is the wall, ceiling, floor. All right, let's first start by drawing a window and a door. All right, so for the window, we started up here. First we need our vertical lines, just like before. Now, here's the trick. When you draw on one side of the wall, the orthogonal, meaning the diagonal lines, go to the opposite point. So do not try to do your lines to this point. Everyone always wants to. Fight the impulse. The opposite wall, okay? All right, so I just gotta extend it a little bit. All right, so again, we draw a line in the middle and we want about that height. Connect it to the line. Okay, there's our window. Since it's above the horizon line, you can see a sun outside. You can see a tree, top of a tree. But we don't see the horizon line, so we can erase this. All right, on the other side, let's draw a door. Draw it over here. Again, to the opposite point. We can't see the line either, right? And since this is a wall, we can't see through this either. Okay, so we don't need our horizon line anymore. All right, now we're gonna draw some floor tiles. So again, we need to divide the edge. Okay, so these ones, we're gonna go to this point. These ones are gonna go to this point, so you're gonna get all the lines going there. So now, I know I said before that's the opposite side, but that only counts for the walls, okay? Not for this, not for the floor or ceiling. Okay, so now we have some floor tiles. And this time on the ceiling, let's make a skylight. So to do that, we'll need some lines here. And let's say that's gonna be like this big. So like this, connect here, and connect there. And just make a square. Okay, you can see some clouds up there. All right. Now we are done with decorating the walls and the ceiling and the floor. Now we are going to add objects. So this time let's make this room a kitchen and let's add a refrigerator. So the refrigerator is a little bit lower than the door, right? Now remember, the back of the refrigerator is going to be against the wall, and the front part is going to be out here. So let's say that we make it about this wide. So here's the front corner. It's facing you, and then over here, let's make back corner. Okay, now we need to connect all our lines. Basically, it's just a box. Right here's our front corner. It's not see-through, so we got to erase all of this stuff. Okay, so let's say this side's just gonna be plain, but the front has to have the freezer part. Let's say it's about that tall. I'll go like that. Okay, and then we can do a handle. A handle. If there's like a piece of paper on there, now it's going to go to the opposite side, right? Okay. So there's maybe your little sister has an assignment she's proud of or something like that. Now, see how the refrigerator is over the horizon line, right? It's both above and below. Therefore, you don't see the top and you don't see the bottom, okay? So now let's draw an object that is below the horizon line only. So we're gonna draw like a stove. So I'll start with just the front corner, and then do the side corners. Okay. So we gotta go to the edge there. All right, so we see that we gotta bring this line down a little bit. Okay. And let's do the top. I think it should actually be a little lower, actually, so you can see it better. Let's do like that. Okay. Right. We'll go this corner to this corner. Let's bring this line down a little bit. Okay, so now we have to go this corner. Because it's below the horizon line, we can see the top, right? So we go this corner to here, this corner to there, right? Just like we did our boxes before. That's not very good. Let's try that one again. Okay, we're redrawing the stove tops. I don't like it. It's okay to stop and redo things. Okay, so this time around I learned my lesson, and this angle is fine. This line is fine, but it really should be a lot shorter. It's gonna be like to there instead, so that way we have a lot more room. That, yeah, okay, this is better. Proportions matter. Okay, so now again from this corner and this corner. Okay, I like this much better as a stove top. So this will be the oven. And then there's gonna be some dials here. So then to figure out how the ellipses should go, we draw like where we want them to be in the middle. Okay, so they should be like much better. And there's usually like actually like a little thing back here, right? Now we gotta redraw the stuff that I erased. Now I want to draw an object above the horizon line. I think I'll draw a shelf right here. Let's say we'll make it about this deep. Okay. All right. Now we gotta do this side, this corner. Okay, so it's kind of like a little shelf on the wall. Let's say it's got like a little cabinet where you can put spices. Now you can see underneath, you see the bottom, but you do not see the top. So if there's something on top, let's say there's like a flower vase, you won't see the bottom of it. Okay, now that you've followed along and drawn this room with me, you are finished for the day.